Hey, welcome back everybody. Mr. Fix-It coming at you. I have been a while on making a video. Why? Why, you ask? Okay, so I've still got products to review for Home Depot Seeds. Making this special video on multi-tools. We've been away for like 6 weeks. We were away in California, then we had to come back and then go to Florida. We actually had, reason why I haven't done any videos, we've had 3 deaths in the family. We had a 16-year-old nephew that died in an accident, and also we were engaging to head to Florida because my wife's mother had gotten bad, so they told us to get there right away. She may pass away. On the way there, my ex-wife passed away. She was about 53 of an aneurysm. And then we got to her mother. We got to see her for a day. She pretty much knew we were there, but then the next morning she passed away. So that thing about threes, everything happens in threes. I guess if it's good stuff, I can accept it, but on the negative, I have a hard time accepting that. This happenstance was 3. So we're hoping we get a break from the trauma. What I want to do today, I'm doing a video separate from Home Depot Seeds because Home Depot Seeds likes to keep me on point, and I wanted to explain why I haven't been online to do videos. So I don't want to miss you. Don't go away, guys. I'm here. I'm still here. But on the trip, I didn't feel much like doing even reviews on. I did reviews, but no videos on the motels and all. I mean, I am on Google Maps. I have 3 million views on my pictures, and people do like to visit that, visit those reviews, because when you're traveling, especially now, you have motels that were redone for COVID and all, and then you still have the trashy motels that never do anything, and carpets stink, but that'll always be around. The thing about America is you have a lot of options. So what I'm getting at is, I'm kind of all over the place here, but anyway, what I was getting at was I had an opportunity to pick up DeWalt multi-tool. Okay, so I wanted to come at you today with one of my own videos, and I wanted to make it point on some subject, and not just a video explaining why I haven't been online. But I have, I got this multi-tool, and I said, hey, you know what? There's a lot of multi-tools out there. The other multi-tool I have is the Ryobi. So what I try to feed to you, I don't have a sponsor, so I don't have to say good stuff about just one product. I don't, that's what is good about my channel. Not to say I wish I didn't have a sponsor. I probably would like a sponsor, but oh well, I don't have a sponsor, so that's kind of to my advantage, because I don't have to talk good about my sponsorship and products. I can basically go anywhere I want on these tools and tell you how it is, how I find out it is. Anyway, the Ryobi and the DeWalt. You have Milwaukee, you have Rigid, you have a bunch of companies that make tools. What I like is every tool has their downfalls, and every tool has something I really like about it. So with the DeWalt, okay, you have this feature on here. Okay, this is a quick change, so you just push this down, and your blade comes out. So that is so convenient. It doesn't take much time, and you can do it in an instant. Okay, so you just pull down on this lever and make sure your blade is in the grooves and let it up, okay? And it works, all right? However, the Ryobi, which is the one which I've gone with for a while, and Ridgid has the same feature, okay? They have this neck, this head here, okay? They have the head. This is always, it comes off, okay? So you can put other Ridgid ends on here. I don't think Ryobi makes any more ends for this, but Ryobi has a bunch of ends because they have a tool that's quick change. So you can get, Ryobi ends for this tool. Now what happened to me was I had one of these and accidentally got ran over, but the body was the only thing messed up. So I was able to save the head. Okay, now can you purchase these separately? I'm sure you can. So what I got now is two heads, okay? So what I do is I keep my metal blade on the one and I keep my wood blade on the other. Please don't use your wood blade on metal. Even if you have nails in it, it will screw up your teeth on here. Okay, so you're going to, want to change it to the metal. Well, this is not a quick change like the DeWalt. So with the DeWalt, it's just simple, you just, pull that lever and change it. But with these, you have to unscrew it right here, okay? It's got a lock here, lock screw. So it's a little bit more work. But with the quick change, okay, you can just put your metal blade on one like I did and the wood blade. So if you come to a spot where you got to cut a piece of wood with nails in it, you're going to use your metal blade. These blades are also good for cutting sheet metal and everything else. It's beautiful. This multi-tool is probably one of my favorite tools. So you just quick change the thing, and also on these you can turn it around. Like if the battery compartment is in the way, you can always turn the head so it faces a different position. So your battery, okay, so now if this battery is getting in the way on the floor, I can always flip it up this way so the battery's up in the air and I can cut as close to the floor as I like. That's another feature with this attachable, head. And this, okay, being as it is an attachable head, it probably makes more noise, and it doesn't seem as tight when you run it as the DeWalt. Okay, the DeWalt is a little quieter, and it seems like the motor and all itself is tighter. Okay, like I said, I just picked this up, so I really like these multi-tools, and I like to have more than one, and get a multi-tool like I have here in Ryobi, and then in DeWalt I have Milwaukee stuff. I'm not biased to any really. A matter of fact, each company you probably run into, the fact that you may like a multi-tool in the DeWalt, and maybe you like the drill in Milwaukee, maybe you like the Sawzall in Ryobi, but it gets quite expensive because you have to have batteries to run all this stuff. So with that in mind, with what I do here with the reviews and all, I actually look for deals and all where I can come to you and show you the difference between the different companies and how different the tools could be. Okay, on this I'm going over to multi-tool, and you can see that there are some differences, but there also there's some downfalls and there's some good points to each tool. And they make so many different types in America because there's so many different types of people. I mean, I've heard somebody go off on, Ridgid greatest, this and that, Milwaukee greatest, DeWalt's the greatest, Ryobi's the greatest. Okay, so, I found that each maker of tools, does something different, and they also, you'll find that you as a person may, like a different feature in each tool. But I mean, if you can't afford, to have the different makes of tools, different companies, then you're gonna, want to go with the one company. Uh, in that case, Ryobi is more Ryobi is more like residential. If you're going to use it on a commercial basis, it probably doesn't have the stamina. It probably won't last as long. They aren't as pricey as DeWalt and Milwaukee. But I mean, there's been cases where I wore out a DeWalt or Milwaukee before the Ryobi. So, you know, excuse me, it all depends on, how you use it. And, I mean, it's like buying a car. Everybody thinks you go in and you buy a car, you buy a Camaro. Every Camaro is the same. And when I shopped for my Camaro, I must have drove 10, 20 Camaros because all the transmissions were different. All the horsepowers were different. Everything was different in a Z28. So I went through every one, test drove them until I found one that was to my liking, and that's basically how tools are. I mean, they'll say the reviews will say this is the best, that's the best. Well, to that person, that may be the best for them, the best fit, but you may find that that a different tool may be better fit for you. So I'm not partial to any one of the companies. Like I said, I find that the multi-tool may be good with this company and the drill may be good with another company. Even with their drivers. The drivers I find on the trigger. Okay, you get a driver. I mean, this is the drill for Milwaukee, but you get the driver, and the driver has a different touch. Now my Milwaukee is hard. You're doing decks and all. You want that Milwaukee. It's going to give you the extra power and all. But let's say you're a beginner. Okay, you don't want a Milwaukee because the trigger is touchy. I mean, it's almost like guns. You know what? Like you have a hair trigger, and then you have a trigger you got to pull pretty far in before it shoots. Well, that's like drivers. Some of them will engage very, very slowly. So if you're a beginner, I mean, I've had my kids, my nephew try tools out, and they're like, I mean, they totally screw it up because it'll just rip that head right off that screw. You know what I mean? With a Milwaukee, that's what can happen. But let's say you take a DeWalt or a Ryobi, the trigger is a little slower, so when you push it in, you got a little more variation in the trigger, and meaning that you could drive that screw in slower, than a Milwaukee would. A Milwaukee is right on it. I mean, it's got the power right there, and you better be ready for it because it's going to rip up your screw if you're not. Okay, so I always say they make the torque screws for Milwaukee because a lot of those Phillips, man, it'll rip it right out. And also the bits, they're making the bits really strong now because I don't know how many bits I just ripped the tip right off the bit. So if you're going to buy a tool set, do your research thoroughly. I mean, you got plenty of videos on YouTube that go over everything, and then go try them out. Some of the Lowe's and Home Depot, they've got spots where they're actually hooked up, and you can actually try them out, and it will tell you what you want. Okay, now for me, I'd rather have the Milwaukee, which is fast driving. I can get the job done quick. I will say I do like the DeWalt driver. I mean, that, has power and pretty quick, but yet it does have a slow trigger. Now, if you're going, let's say with your Ryobi, or Lowe's has that brand, and I can't even think of the name of it right now. Sorry. But I mean, those are slower engaging, and if you're starting out, I would start out with one of those because it will save you on screw heads and bits. Okay, if you're not experienced enough with the tool, and who would think that? I mean, you would think just buy a driver, it's the same thing no matter what. And I did try a rigid driver too when I was in Florida. My brother-in-law had a rigid driver, and that was the same with the slow engagement. Now, you could say that my Milwaukee is the only one that has the fast engagement, which could be true. Maybe my Milwaukee driver has the fast engager. So, it's, up to you to make the decision. I mean, it is pretty costly to buy, you know, a set, say a 12 set of tools, of, battery operated drivers and multi-tools and everything else. But so take your time, do your research. That's all I can say to you. To review, the Ryobi has the head, okay, that you can take off, okay? And like I said, I have the metal and the wood blades, so it's a quick change for me because I have this, opportunity to have two different heads on here, okay? I love that, okay? Your DeWalt seems to be tighter. As far as when you pull the trigger and all, the vibration is less than the Ryobi. And you also have, this feature here. You just push down on this lever and you switch the blade. Okay? And this also has a light. This also has a light on the front here, whereas Ryobi has their light on the top here, which sometimes doesn't even involve because you want the light right on the work site. Okay, so that's another feature that I just seen just now. So do your research, folks. And also with the DeWalt, with this quick change, you're going to want to get the open blades. Make sure your blade fits the tool. Okay. Now I have some rigid blades that come in real close up here, up at the top. So they don't even fit on the quick change. This is a Milwaukee blade. So this fits, and DeWalt makes blades too. This has an opening, okay, so you could just slip that on, make sure it's in the, there's little prongs on there. Make sure the holes are on the prongs, and then let the lever go, and you're ready to go. I appreciate you coming here, watching my videos. Like I said, I've had a little lull here in the videos, but I will be getting back to it. I've got several Home Depot Seeds reviews to do, mostly lights and plumbing. I don't know why that's all I have now, but that's basically what it is. I appreciate you coming and watching my videos. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. And like and subscribe, share the video, guys. How else am I going to be able to do lives if I don't get more subscribers, right? No, but I'm here for you. I'm trying to, these videos are going to be good for people down the road, because stuff lasts quite a while. I think the videos I make will be valuable for people in the future also. So, hang tight. Don't be haters. Be lovers, man. It's easy to be a hater. Lovers, take some work. So do it. Do it. That's all I got for right now. I will be back to you with some more Home Depot Seeds reviews. But you take it light. Take it any way you can. I'm Mr. Fix, and I'm coming at you with a video on the multi-tools. I hope it was helpful for you. I gotta go. Later.